The Sex Ed with Tim podcast is recorded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands.
You're listening to Sex Ed with Tim.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. I'm your host, Tim, certified sex educator. I identify as a chaotic homosexual. And did you just sit on a pile of sugar? Because damn, your ass is sweet. Ugh.
Woohoo! And you know what? You have seen my ass, so can confirm that is factual. That's not even just a line.
It's not mine. I don't know if you know, but like this season I've just been accepting like the worst pickup lines from my listeners. It's so bad.
I know. I love it. I love that. I mean, it's on brand. I'm just trying to be on brand in 2023, and I wish that for everyone, you know?
What exactly is this existentialist brand?
Well, the fun thing about having existentialist in your title is that it means you just dread everything all the time, I think. Is that part of the... No, I mean, it's the usual, you know, like chaotic but informative. We're making jokes, but we're trying to, you know, normalize at the same time. I'm going to do a similar combination in my next season of like expert interviews and me just fucking shit up on a microphone, much like we're doing this evening. So, you know...
Why is it that whenever you and I get together and just talk, we are always fucking shit up?
It's because our energy is too similar. It's like the one
Chaos.
time we've been in the same room, it's like, whoa, like, okay, we're gonna literally blow something up with energy if we're not too careful. So
I know. Oh my God. And your partner Joe was like, when are these girlies just gonna stop? I want to go to bed. I'm like, well,
he was
Joe.
such a trooper though, right?
I guess that's fair. But like, you know, let the girlies have some fun. We're sisters from different misters and besties from different testes. You know?
Yes. I've tried to think of one of those rhyming things about friendships that include the word labia in it, and I just can't find anything that rhymes. So if you think of one, let me know.
Familia from different labia?
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Maybe.
close. A little bit of a slant rhyme.
we need to workshop that. I mean, what rhymes with labia?
I know. I was even thinking like labes, mates from different labes. Again, a slant rhyme though.
Yeah, no. I really want to think about that.
Mates from different taints.
That can be better, but we're getting closer.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to workshop it. I agree. Maybe we'll poll the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like this is a mess. Like you and I always are, but that's what season 3 is going to be about, right? Season 3 is going to be a mess.
Yes, a continuation of all of the chaos that our listeners love
and hate. Love to hate. Just to give you and my listeners a heads up, season 3 is not going to be so much about teaching anymore. Like I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and just have conversations on experiences rather than like the last couple seasons where I would focus on a specific subject matter and then like break it down and dissect it and consume and regurgitate and everything else that I do in the bedroom. But this season, experiences. We're going to talk about experiences.
I was gonna say I saw that on your social, and I think that's super fun. And I feel like too that is a form of education, but it's different than from, you know, some of the stereotypical sex ed content.
I think so. It's just like, I think it's just as important to talk about people's experiences with sex as it is to talk about it from like a theory and science-y standpoint, because
For
everybody experiences sex differently, right? I have experienced sex just last night, actually.
Me too. What kind of sex did you have?
Very, oh God, the windows fogged up.
Oh, okay, Titanic.
Yeah, like if I could show you my window, there's like that handprint that like drags down.
Wow, it's getting sexy and steamy in Canada.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I've seen it on TikTok in Seattle, where it's like icy roads. Like,
yeah, no thank you.
Is it bad where you are right now, or how's the winter treating you?
Yeah, so we did have we partook in the winter storm last week as one does, and it was horrible. And I flew to Texas for a couple of days to be with family over the holidays, and my flight was delayed a few hours, but not too bad, luckily. But yeah, no, it started to sort of thaw out because obviously the climate is inconsistent, and it's been jumping up and down.
Thank you, global
so
warming.
Yes, what's going on? Climate change. Yeah, and then obviously the weather has given me a cold. I was obviously messaging you in advance of this recording, Tim, being like, I'm so sorry, but I am a snot queen right now.
You sound like Phoebe from Friends. Can you say smelly cat right now?
Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you? That's my musical debut. Check me out on SoundCloud. Yeah. So anyway, I apologize. I'm neggy for COVID. I've taken a couple of COVID tests. Continues to not be COVID, just a cold. But I am full of snot, and I'm so sorry. Wish I were full of cum instead. Actually, I'm also full of that. Never mind.
Yeah, so am I. I'm like literally leaking from every orifice right now. My headphones need cleaning, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yuck.
Ear splooge.
Ear splooge, yeah. No, but you should really see the state of my room right now. It is an absolute mess from last night. It's just like fog and like what else is here? Baby wipes strewn about.
Good.
My sheets are oiled up with silicone, which is going to be a bitch to clean up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And yeah. You know what? When you're in the mood, you kind of get careless.
Oh yeah.
That's life of a cum dump.
Retweet.
It's a hard knock life.
You know,
really
yeah. Messes just happen, and that's okay. But paying the price of that sometimes is exhausting for sure. I am obviously mouth breather right now, so me trying to initiate sex with my partner last night was like really, I mean, not that I'm less sexy right now, but I'm a little bit, yeah.
Give us the best dirty talk while you have a cold right now.
Hey baby, are you interested in taking things up to the old bedroom?
Yeah.
You
sound like a 1930s radio announcer.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm changing my accent and also the pace of my speech when doing that impersonation, but I think it's probably how it sounded. Anyway, I got fucked anyway, so like whatever.
It sounds very much like, you know, those radio announcers when they have that specific lilt. It's like, and here we are in one corner and then in another corner. Hey, baby.
Weighing 200 pounds, existentialist podcast host M is trying to get it up.
Get it up, and with success, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen.
We will see. Oh, she's bringing out the lube, and the lube is in her hand, and we're going to see if that works. And now it's baseball. I don't know what's happening.
Not to bring another Friends reference, but remember that episode where Monica is like sick? And she's like, you mean to tell me you don't want to get with this?
It's me.
And she's just like,
that's me.
Just rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub all over her. And it turns
that sounds
Chandler on
good
for
right
some
now,
reason.
actually. That sounds so good right now.
I mean, Vicks is like the cure-all. I feel like it has the ability to cure cancer if possible.
Oh man, I wonder if I feel like they're keeping that from us. You know what I mean? Like not even really trying. Whatever.
Do you know the musical Book of Mormon?
Oh, of course.
Of course. My favorite lyric in the entire show is at the very, very last song, where he's like, America's got the cure for AIDS, but they're saving it for another day.
Sounds like us.
Because we are all bottoms for Big Pharma.
Yes.
Please, they're keeping the COVID cure in secret in their frozen vault underground, but because they want to profit from the vaccines.
I am replaying the video game The Last of Us in a wait for the January 15th premiere of the
in
HBO
preparation
series.
for the. Oh my god! I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm literally so
scratching
excited.
my face
I'm literally
off.
so excited. I know. I am so. I've watched the trailers a million times. I'm so excited. But the reason I mentioned that is because they talk about like in the beginning how like all of the government's attempts at vaccines against the spores obviously don't work. Again, obviously it's probably before they figured out it's a fucking fungus. Anyway, I'm just like, classic government. Bet they did figure it out and they were just hoarding it for the highest bidder and then everyone died too soon. Classic.
I know. Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that up because that is premiering the weekend of this episode's premiere. So I am so goddamn excited. Pedro Pascal, daddy for sure, and the guy playing his
Literally
brother,
such
Gabriel
a
Luna.
fucking daddy.
Okay, I have something to say about Last of Us. One of my friends is a production assistant for HBO, and she told me how every single day of filming, she was responsible for COVID swabbing the entire cast. So that means
She's
she
been
has
inside
some of
Pedro.
Pedro's. I know. Oh my
Literally
god!
what? That's the fucking what?
I'm so jealous. Like
That's all I've ever
do you
wanted.
remember this clip of him? I think it was for the Vanity Fair lie detector series where the internet is like calling him daddy, and then like the interviewer's like, how do you feel about the internet calling you daddy? And then Pedro goes, they can call me daddy, I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you and your unreachable ass. I just want to reach and lick my
It's
screen.
so it's honestly so I've also been rewatching Game of Thrones. I'm just trying to feel nostalgic during the wintertime, but him is Prince Oberyn of Dorne, and and also he's like sexually fluid, he's explorative, literally like everything that
So
someone like us could ever ask for. So anyway, whatever. It's super annoying
Game
that
of
he's like out in the
Thrones-
world.
Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon have so much more sex than I've ever anticipated. And I mean, a little too much incest for my taste, but again, this is medieval politics, so I do kind of have to like suspend my disbelief, but that's really hard when you see a Starbucks cup in the background. So
Oh my god. Yeah, they did replace that episode, I think. They reposted that one or something cuz I was reading about that again recently and I was like, where's that shit?
even if they like superimpose the Starbucks cup outside of the shot, it's still really bad. Like as the seasons progressed.
Oh my god, waste. Yeah, for sure. They got so sloppy, but anyway, we could talk about that for literally 2 hours.
But House of the Dragon has been pretty good, as I've heard. I haven't seen it yet, but the only reason I know about House of the Dragon is Negroni Spagliato with Prosecco in it.
I have been walking around the house for months
That's all
going,
I know
oh,
about.
stunning! Oh, stunning!
Oh,
Oh,
stunning!
stunning! And again, like, my partner is English, right? Like, my partner can actually do both of their accents, and I cannot. And so I'm, like, running around the house saying it, and he just can't. Like, I'm so annoying.
Are those two different British accents? I thought they're the same.
So the person saying a Negroni Spagliato
Emma Darcy.
with
Yeah, what did
Prosecco
they...
and yes, And then Stunnin' is they're different regions.
Olivia Colman. Okay. Oh wow. So I never
not Olivia
knew
Colman.
that.
Olivia. What is her last name?
Well, it's Olivia and Emma.
It doesn't
That's all I
matter.
know.
This is. Yeah. This is why I quoted them as opposed to naming them.
I remember one time when I went on Google and looked for a Negroni recipe. When you search it up, their hands, Olivia and Emma's hands, come up out of the screen and do a toast. It's so cute.
Oh my god,
I was
that
like,
is really
wow.
cute.
I know. And then I remember another Google feature where it was like, when you search up dogs or cats, a little paw print button like shows up, and then you press it, and then a dog or a cat will like press on it with you. And I'm like, this is so addicting.
So cute. Google smart.
Can you believe that not only is Negroni Spagliato with Prosecco in it happened this year, but also Anka Jams. Sorry, not this year, in 2022. Anka Jams. Like,
Uncut Gems was. Oh my god, that is crazy.
it feels like
what
forever
other memes
ago,
from
but
2022? Yeah, no, there's so many memes that feel like they were years ago that were totally this year. That is insane.
right? Like, Negroni Spagliato, Anka Jams, the rise of like Wednesday Addams has been like a thing, which I'm actually in the middle of watching right now. It's pretty good.
I still haven't seen it. I really need to. Maybe I'll try to binge it this week.
It's pretty interesting. I never knew that like Wednesday could be interesting in the sense that like I was very nervous about her character being like one note, like just being emo all the time, and like that could get annoying. But it's pretty good. What Jenna, what's her name? Jenna something. What she's done with the character, I like it so far. She has feelings, and that totally throws me off.
Yeah, everyone I know really, really likes it. I just need to take time to watch it. But also, I'm so sorry. I just Googled memes of this year, and the desexification of the green M&M was in 2022.
Oh yeah!
And not this year, last year, excuse me.
Wow!
Adding Ussie to everything apparently was a 2022 meme, which seems like we've been adding Ussie to everything.
Like, let the green M&M fuck. I'm so sorry, but like, that was so annoying. What?
So annoying.
Like, of all the things to be concerned about, is making the green M&M less sexy. like what?
It's 2022. Like, we've got so many other things to fucking worry about, and that's what they chose. Anyway, whatever. I'm
now
excited
that we're
for
entering
this year's memes.
We're entering 2023. It's gonna be memeified. Because, like, looking back at the last year, what's happened? So, all those memes, and then there's also, like, a whole bunch of celebrity deaths. Like, who have we lost this year?
Twitch just died in December, and that shit fucked me up, really.
Twitch died. The Queen died. Bob Saget, Angela Lansbury, Leslie Jordan. Like, goddamn. I feel so old.
You're, wow. Way better at remembering famous people dying than me.
It's one of the curses of being
I'm trying to remember.
I'm just burdened with pop culture like information up in here. It's awful.
What's his name? What's his name died? The guy from
Aaron Carter.
Goodfellas.
Oh
yeah, Aaron Carter died. No, the guy
Aaron
from
Carter
Goodfellas
did.
is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, and Hagrid. Oh, Hagrid passed away. Yeah. And Olivia Newton-John.
Oh my god, that was this year. Holy shit, what is happening?
What's wrong with us?
Yeah.
I feel like the more we age, the more we progress, the more I'm also like observing that my taste in sex is becoming a little more different. I used to be like kink and piss play and all the fun, like, footsies. Really, foot fetishes are vanilla at this point. But you know what I mean? Like, I have decided that like my days of wild sex and throwing caution to the wind are a little bit behind me. I'm turning 30 this month, and I feel like,
That's
my
insane.
body. I know.
Congratulations, though. Also, I feel like in the gay world, though, turning 30 is a bit of a death time.
It's a death sentence, yeah. When you're 30 and gay, you become invisible, and you are now within daddy like jurisdiction. So
so crazy.
yeah, it's a little, it's jarring. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this information. I'm 30 this year. This is insane.
I'm a couple years younger than you, so I've got time. But I'm, on the other hand, desperate to be 30 because I want to look my fucking age.
Oh, that's right, because you got such a baby face.
I know. Which I feel like in gay years would be a really, like, if
That's
I were
advantageous for you, yeah.
queer penis owner, it would be different. But anyway, I am not. So.
Oh, hell yeah. You'd be the subject of every, like, tops fantasy. Oh my god, it's such a cute little twink. I gotta get with that.
I feel like I don't have twink energy, though.
You have
Maybe
a twink
I would,
face.
though.
So you do have a twink face, but your energy is very much a dom.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a switch. I'm Versi, baby. I'm Versi.
Versi. You're a verse from another, my fellow verse from another universe.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
Oh my god. Speaking of universe, I don't know if you can see from the camera, but my galaxy projector is totally giving me all the right vibes right now. Isn't it so pretty? I turned this on while I was having sex, and I got a little bit high. It is just another world. It's just a different experience. Have you ever had sex on some sort of psychedelic or mind-altering substance?
Yes. So people are gonna laugh. So the only drugs I've done, and I would do more. My partner's has done pretty much every drug. It's just that he's an immigrant, so now he doesn't risk it just because he could get deported if caught with an illegal substance.
Oh no, ICE is gonna come after his ass.
Literally. So anyway, I live in a place where weed is legal and also readily accessible. But the one time I fucked on a mind altering substance was this. I went through a phase end of high school, early college, where I was sort of doing kind of a cough syrup phase. I was dating someone who was kind of into. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so fucking embarrassed. I'm so sorry for the way that I am.
I'm sorry.
So I did that. And it would be I would be kind of tripping. Yeah. No, it's humiliating, but you know what? Your girl had to get whatever she could get her damn hands on, and that was what was accessible. And he would just put on some Tame Impala, and it would just be a little lovely time in the 2010s. And yeah. Well, the problem is I wasn't having good sex, right? I was having sex with a, you know what I mean? I was a 17 to 19 when I was with this particular person. So the sex we were having was certainly not earth shattering. I certainly wasn't having orgasms. Really hardly ever. So it's hard to know, if I did it now, maybe it would fucking rock my world. But, it was a lot of visual stuff. Stuff would look different one moment than it did another. If I closed my eyes, I would hallucinate. It was, I would much rather, take any other fucking drug and try, but whatever.
How about, honestly, same. I would love to see if I can have sex on ayahuasca. That would be a trip. I don't know what it would, what just on ayahuasca is like, but I heard it is very it's almost scary is what I've heard.
Yeah, that's the thing is I am already such an anxious person that I'm constantly 3 feet away from a bad trip. So I have to be really, and I do feel I'd have to be really careful. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm anxious about it before I'm even high. So like, what does that say about me? I don't know.
No, I get it. I've had sex on acid, and I didn't mean to have acid. Oh, you know what? I was just being dumb because this guy at the club was like, "Hey, you want to try this?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then
Yeah. And
we
then you did acid.
we ended up at his place, and I remember having this crazy trip where, as he was going down on me, what I saw was that he unhinged his jaw and
No
just like
fucking way.
swallowed my entire bottom half. I was like,
Oh
"Oh my
no.
god!"
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
that was terrifying.
That's like, I would be traumatized. I feel like I would high key need to talk about that in therapy a lot.
Yeah. So like, imagine like bringing it back to The Last of Us. You know how like the boomer,
Yeah.
like that big, like the jaw
Yeah.
is just like, oh yeah.
Oh
Imagine
my
that,
god.
and then just like swallowing your genitals plus your legs and all the way up to your waist. That's what I thought I saw. It was,
Oh no.
oh god.
Daddy had a
I
big
don't want to do it
mouth.
again. That's true. Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah.
if only I could vouch for myself without sounding like a narcissist, because daddy's packing over here, folks.
Woohoo.
Um, she's thick with two C's.
I feel like to be in our line of work, well, one, you were also a sex worker, so like, yeah, you're rocking with what you've got. But I feel like to be in the sex ed space, you have to be like pretty fucking proud of your own sexual experiences, even the bad ones. Like there has to be some level of like sexual confidence or comfort. So it's not narcissism. That's just how we are.
I mean, for me, I embrace both the good and the bad experiences thus far. I feel like, it's what's the point in regretting? Live with no regrets. Like
Yeah,
this is
be regret free.
regrets. Um, I just I have this firm belief that like because of all the sex that I've gone through with both the good and the bad, and like not to brag, but I'm already in the 4 digits club. Um,
Wait, body count?
yeah.
Oh my god, how have you kept track of that many?
I literally use a tally and like a clicker that but like bouncers use it. No, I'm kidding. Um,
I was like, wow, that's holy shit efficient. I was like on it. I was ready for the rest of the information.
no, I am just like doing an estimate, a rough estimate as to what I've actually done. And how I've been keeping track was because I keep a sex journal on my Google Drive.
Aw, I love that. I think more people should do that. Actually, I'm probably one of the only people who's like, "Aw, sweet, I love that."
Yeah, it's like a spreadsheet. It's like the date, the description of the guy because I could never remember their name, and like
Sure.
what I thought the sex was like, and whether or not I want to do it again. And then I've been doing that since I was sexually active at like 19 years old.
That is so healthy. I love that. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't, obviously, I'm of the belief that body count doesn't matter except for potential opportunity for like new experiences, right? Like, that's probably the only component of that that may come into play when thinking about, sexual history. But like, I love that you keep track in a way that's like, I don't know, not to compete with anyone or not to like prove something to yourself, but just to be like a history, a log. I love that.
It's mostly for me
Yeah.
because I want to look back and like what did I learn from that experience?
Yes.
Never to go to a crack house is like a crack addict's basement apartment. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
not great.
See, though, I do feel like, and not to be all, therapy on everyone, but like, I do think that life is a series of cycles and patterns, right? And part of maturity part of growing up, not just in an adult way, but throughout the course of adulthood, is learning from our mistakes and learning to break toxic cycles and anyway, you can tell I've been in therapy for a long time. So anyway, I love that though, because had I started doing that, now again, everyone knows I have a great partner and I'm having great sex and I've done a lot of fucking work on my mental health. But had I done that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like, holy shit, my patterns I could have just recognized some of those behaviors so much earlier and been like, hey, Em, sounds like you're doing this shit over and over again and you're having a bad time every single goddamn time and you're doing it again. Cut that shit out. And then I would have stopped. So anyway, I'm a big fan of that.
I mean, I love toxicity as much as the next person. But
yeah.
At some point, you kind of just have to realize, all right, I guess I'm bored. Time to change it up a bit. Maybe I should be a better person. Like, you know what? It's 2023. New year, new me, as in I'm going to be much worse this year.
Yes, obviously. Bad people only on this show.
I'm going to be so much worse. I'm going to give every single one of my audience members, every single one of the listeners, an STI through their ears. Because this show is about to take a bad turn.
Skirt! That's the car halting the brakes and dipping over into the ditch of naughty. I don't know what visualization that was, but you're all fucking welcome.
Listen, I can't wait to make so many more mistakes and repeat some old ones.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yes!
What's up, all you sick fucking perverts? Don't you just love love? The Love Shop has everything you need to feel the love in the air or in between your legs, wherever you want, really. They've got everything from vibrators, lubes, lingerie, and even full-sized sex dolls. Wow, I guess love really does come in all shapes and sizes. Visit loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout for 15% off the whole store. And the best part is that they ship all over Canada, US, and what? Ireland? To all my whores in Dublin, top of the morning to ya. That's loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and checkout code SEXEDWithTim for 15% off the entire store. Now get to fucking. Do you like feeling sexy and looking sexy? Of course you do. Only my listeners are sexy as fuck. I have partnered with fetishwear designer Dale Kuda to bring you the hottest deals on custom jock straps, harnesses, hats, and more. Head over to dalekuda.com, that's DALEKUDA.com, and use code SEXEDWithTim at checkout for 25% off the entire store. Yeah, you heard me, 25% off. And cherry on top, free shipping. Oh my god. I have a few of the stuff that he has made for me, and girl, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing like a little jock strap so that I could easily just like slip a little butt plug or dildo every now and then here and there, and I'm on the train, I'm just like thank you, Dale. That's dalekuda.com with the code SEXEDWithTim for 25% off your entire purchase with free shipping. With a deal like that, I swear I could come buckets, honey.
The show is about to begin.
Yes.
Speaking of mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the shit that we found? So in the spirit of like, new year, new me, as in I'm much worse, let's look back at some of the worst sexual mistakes of the past. It's like kind of like a Christmas Carol, ghost of sexual mishap past. And I am ghost of sexual mishap yet to come.
So that you all can learn from the mistakes that we didn't make.
And we're here to make fun of mistakes that other people made.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like, like any good sex educator, we both just went on like a bizarre deep dive on the internet, and like that is how it goes.
It's addicting. It's really addicting.
For sure. Oh my God, the internet's a crazy place.
Oh, so crazy. So let's start with you, Em. What did you find?
Okay, so I knew that you were kind of pulling some articles and stuff like that, so I was trying to avoid any overlap because obviously, there's only so much you can find on the internet in terms of sexual mishaps. There aren't like, horrific videos on the internet, horrific at least in my mind. So I decided to turn to Reddit, which for those of you who listen to my Kinkcast episodes know that, yeah, that's where I tend to go for anecdotes and firsthand accounts. And a lot of these were actually on Ask Reddit, which other people were like curious about other people's mishaps. But I read this mishap, and I'll just summarize it briefly. But basically, a penis owner, and they refer to them as a wife. So I'm assuming cis man, cis woman. Anyway, she's giving him a blowjob, and she decides to kind of play with his ass, keep it spicy. And she grabs some lube, and he was like, I felt some discomfort with the lube in my ass, like it was kind of burning, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with that, but like I was in the heat of the moment getting a blowjob, so like didn't even worry about it. I know. And he mentions it like after they finish in whatever capacity that is, and she checks it, and it was actually peppermint exfoliation foot lotion.
Oh no.
So anyway, I really liked it because the burning did eventually subside after 30 minutes, which is good, and any several hours, then I would be concerned. But he ended it with, on the bright side, my butthole is minty fresh. And I thought, like, what a great outlook on life,
Oh God. It just triggered a memory in me that I tried so hard to bury.
Oh no.
I know we were going to talk about other people's mishaps, but I want to briefly bring up a mishap from me.
Amazing.
So, like peppermint oil or menthols, like,
Yeah.
it's basically the same kind of like scent or cooling sensation that you get from like an icy hot, like for your muscles. I
For sure.
wanted to like take a salt bath, right? Because, I like my salt baths. So I ordered a whole bag of menthol crystals, because I thought it would cool my body. Not knowing how potent the menthol crystals were, I dumped
Yeah,
half
that
the
sounds
bag.
like a chemistry kit. Oh God.
I dumped half the bag of menthol crystals in my tub, and like the scent and the smell was so strong that my eyes were starting to water, but I was like, it's probably just the smell or whatever, it'll go away. I dipped my entire body into the bathtub, and 30 seconds later my dick is on fire. I was like,
Yeah. Fully
burning.
It's like frostbite.
I was screaming. The only other person that could hear my screams were my dog. I call her a person, but she's a person.
Rosie.
Yeah, my
I love
baby Rosie. My baby Rosie was like pawing at the door. It's almost as if she's like, "Are you okay in there?" Clearly not.
She knew something
So-
was wrong.
My dick is on fire. My ass is on fire. My entire body feels like it's on freezer burn. And then I'm like, fuck this. Ow, 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 ow. I tried to like turn on the shower head to like maximum heat. That didn't help at all. So
my
I'm like, fuck this.
God.
Dry myself off, wrap myself in a blanket burrito, and just hope it subsides. I was like, fuck this. I'm never doing this ever again. So I learned my lesson the hard way, to never use menthol crystals as a salt bath.
And did it stop after a little while, or did it take some
like
time?
2
or,
hours. 2 hours
Ugh.
of pure burning sensations. So yeah.
See,
folks.
this is why you have to be so careful. Even with just like, I don't know, like shitty scented products that you buy, like not to be, again, full sex educator mode, but like I have been gifted like a peppermint body wash, and or something like that. You know what I mean? And like that sounds really nice, but that shit like felt bad. And especially if you use like, I mean, I don't really like, the vagina is self-cleaning, so I don't like really go hard on that, but I do wash my whole body, and all of my nooks and crannies, like from between my toes to my armpits to my ass, were like tingly. in a way that I was really uncomfortable with, and that's just don't buy cheap shit. You know what I mean? Like, or just buy unscented shit. Like, it just can be so much.
That's fun.
Yeah, not even a sexual
it's
mishap,
fun.
but just like yikes. Yeah.
Yeah. But back on the sexual mishaps thing, I found this article from LA Daily News. It was published back in 2009, and the headline reads, "Man dies after 12-hour Viagra-fueled orgy."
Oh my god! Wow. Did he have a heart attack?
Yes. So what happens is, like, a Russian man died after guzzling a bottle of Viagra to keep him going for a 12-hour orgy with 2 female pals, which I have a problem with, because is 3 really considered an orgy? I don't think so.
No. Yeah. What? Okay. Exaggeration.
Yeah. So the rest goes. The women had bet mechanic Sergei Tuganov $4,300 that he wouldn't be able to follow through with the half-day sex marathon, but minutes after winning the bet, the 28-year-old died of a heart attack. So, yeah, don't guzzle an entire bottle of Viagra. That's who thought that was
That
safe?
is not good. Yeah. Yikes.
No.
That is so.
I mean, with
speaking
any
of
sort of medication.
speaking of not death. No. Speaking of death stories. No. Well, I mean, I think this could have killed the person, but I was reading an article, and maybe you found one, about someone who tried to recreate, like, you know, machine porn on the internet with, like, a, you know, you have like a fucking jackhammer and a dildo, but they tried to, like, do that for cheap. You guys have seen the videos, right? I mean, like, you know, there's just a lady, like, tied legs up, and she's just getting railed by this fucking machine, dildo, whatever.
With a drill. Yeah.
Yeah, someone tried to recreate it, and again, just don't try this stuff at home. Like, pay money for the good quality Sybian or whatever other toy. But, like, basically, like, the dildo, no one died, but there was an injury because it wasn't like a bladed drill or anything like that. They kept it as safe as possible, but still the machine from Home Depot that they had used punctured the dildo, and it ended up causing injury. Yeah. So anyway, I know. This is what's hot. Like, don't Google this shit, y'all, because it gets so scary so quickly.
This reminds me of that time that Jason Derulo posted on TikTok that he was trying to eat corn off a cob while it was attached to a drill and, like, knocked out, like, how many teeth?
Exactly. Like, it's just not funny, that shit. Like, doesn't matter what setting you put it on. Like, yeah. Anyway, so she was fine, but she did have to have a little minor procedure to stitch something back up. So
that's insane. No. I just don't.
Like, just
I don't
try
fuck
stuff
with
at
power
home.
tools. Yeah, I don't fuck with power tools that way.
No, and I feel like part of the problem is people see stuff on the internet and they, like, want to compete with other people and, like, set up some kind of expectation about doing this crazy thing they saw on the internet, and, like, don't. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Like, buy your sex toys off, like, a credible place, a credible store,
yes.
like loveshop.ca/sexed with Tim, and use sexed with Tim for 15% off at checkout. Shipping
Shameless
to Canada,
plug.
Shipping to Canada, the contiguous United States, and Ireland.
Hello,
I know.
Ireland.
It was so random when I saw that they shipped to Ireland. I was like, shout out to all my fans in Dublin. Top of the morning to ya.
Oh, that was good. I liked that one.
I love an Irish accent.
An Irish.
An Irish. Do you have any other, like, stories or mishaps that you've discovered on the cesspool that is the internet?
Oh yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I skimmed several, so I could probably go all day. But
I want to hear it.
Another one, and this wasn't really a mishap so much as just a silly thing that happened, but two people having sex. I'm assuming, I don't know actually the gender of the person posting, but anyway, someone was having sex with a vulva owner, and this vulva owner squirts, and she squirted, and it says that they got off the bed together to clean up, and the side of the bed, like, the carpet is fucking soaking. and like they were fucking on the bed, but the carpet is like really soaking. So they were like, he says that she was sort of like awkward and sheepish, and they had been fucking in a dark room, and then it turned out that a pillow had knocked off the bed and knocked over like a large glass of water. But so this whole time, like, she's feeling really uncomfortable, and he's like, oh wow, like she squirted a lot this time, and it's sort of like this weird awkward moment, and it turns out they were just cleaning up water. So not really a mishap. That one's pretty PG, but can you imagine? I feel like I'd be like, oh my god, I like pissed everywhere.
Oh my god, I'm such a fountain. I'm such a squirter.
Like, I have never, I mean, I personally have never squirted that much. Obviously, there are people who do. There are world records for that, but a glass of water would be,
yeah. I have heard accounts of people who squirt like a Capri Sun
buckets.
amount of squirt.
Yeah.
All the way to buckets. I remember watching a very specific straight porn blooper, actually, and I forget who the star was, but he's like very famous, Peter something, I forget, but anyway, the blooper was that they're like fucking him and his co-star, and the woman couldn't stop squirting when the scene didn't call for her squirting.
Oh,
and
no.
then basically I just remember her splayed out in a starfish, and the sheets are just like, you just see puddles everywhere, and she's so exhausted that she's like doing the timeout gesture, like, I need a second.
Yeah.
And all he was doing while he was trying to be professional and kept the scene going was like, penetrating her, but because she kept squirting, all he could do was laugh.
Oh no. Hey.
So just imagine, like, she's going, ah, 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 and then he's like,
he's losing his mind. That's so funny.
He's laughing while she's like having the time of her life.
Porn stars, human as well, just like us.
I know, that's true. I also appreciate that you do have the more wholesome non-death stories, because all my stories are about death.
There are so many. Did you read the one about the train tracks?
Train tracks? No, I don't have that one. I want to hear about it. What is it?
It's really, I couldn't read all of it because it was kind of sad. It made me really sad. But basically, like, a couple that clearly had like some kind of public/danger kink situation, like, we're fucking on train tracks, and a train did come, and the train slowed down as much as it could and honked for like quite a long distance, and I guess that they were just like in the throes of passion because the train didn't have time to fully stop, and did in fact kill both people on who were fucking on the tracks. And it just makes me sad because for some reason, like, death during sex makes me sad because I feel like I would least expect it then. And it stresses me out.
My ideal death would be mid-orgasm. Like, you can just come and go,
Like in Gone Girl. In Gone
Girl.
Neil Patrick Harris doesn't orgasm death.
That's true. Sorry, but that story just reminds me about how much I want to get railed to death.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't disagree. Can't disagree.
Speaking of death, my next headline here is from NBC News in 2012. It reads, "Widow of Atlanta cop who died during three-way sex is awarded $3 million." Can you believe that?
What? How did she get so much money?
So a jury in Gwinnett County, Georgia has awarded $3 million to the widow of an Atlanta police officer who died while having three-way sex, finding that his doctor was negligent in not properly diagnosing and treating his heart condition. Like, what? So the doctor just forgot to say that, like, hey, bro, your heart's got a problem. Don't have a three-way. And then, like, he just dies in a three-way.
That is so smart of her, honestly. Like, if my partner dies, like, I'm trying to make money off of it. Like, someone owes me money for that.
That's true. Like, if your partner dies, you gotta at least get rich off of it.
Yeah.
You have to capitalize on something. I mean, the only two constant things in life are death and taxes. So you might as well capitalize on one or the other.
There are yeah. Anyway, I'm just thinking about death and money and sex. Obviously, my
Death,
brain's
money, and
going
sex.
crazy.
I've got like 3 more headlines. So I don't know if you have any more, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there are. I have. Why don't you go, and then I have some
Sure.
others like saved, and then I'll fill in the gaps.
Okay, so this one says, woman mauled to death by lion as she made love to her boyfriend in the African bush.
Oh my god, that's so scary. Talk about a
mean,
mishap.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a vicious pussy. Like,
Oh, got him.
a woman was mauled to death by a lion as she made love to her boyfriend outdoors in Zimbabwe. Shirai Mawera died yesterday after the big cat pounced while she was enjoying a romantic moment in the bush with her unnamed partner.
Oh my gosh, unnamed. May he
Yeah.
rest in peace, Mr. Unnamed.
Yeah, Mr. Unnamed. I know. Like, I would hate to be, like, in my obituary, unnamed individual.
Name
or
my
something.
ass. Let them know.
Or like my favorite headline that I remember reading was Meghan Markle and her husband. Her husband.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you can't even be bothered to have a name, just like a placeholder.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, my partner's kind of that way on the pod, right? I mean,
Just an unnamed like British voice that you hear.
yeah. Jonas, I guess, is his name. My boy Joe.
Boy Joe. Oh, like Boy George. That's also an
Yeah,
English
exactly.
person, right?
Exactly like Boy George.
Except not as gay. Or maybe, I don't know, is Joe a little fruity? I think so. Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, like, I won't speak to his identity, but like he fucks. You know?
The man fucks. I mean, I remember how you told me how a drag queen approached him and found out that Joe was taken, and the drag queen was like, ew.
Pissed. Yeah, it was Tina Burner from Drag
Oh,
Race.
right.
Drag Race.
Tina-
Yeah. Yeah, she nailed her performance, and she was outside having a cigarette, and we were leaving the bar, and she was like, oh, ho, ho, ho. And yeah, it was good. Anyway, hearts were broken, obviously.
Aw, Tina Burner's a tall girl. Like,
Yes. Oh, yeah. She would
Just within-
absolutely ruin him.
yeah, just within Joe's reach as well. Oh my God.
Much. Well,
Joe-
she was in heels as well. Much bigger than him.
That's true. And Joe can't handle a girl like Tina.
No, I mean, he's, yeah. Has a hard time
Yeah.
keeping up with me. I mean, I'm just kidding. He doesn't. He's very good.
Also, like, no shade to Tina Burner, but like, find a better name. Like,
Yeah, and wasn't she
Sorry.
sort of like worst makeup of the season or something? I mean, she looked
Or
great when
something
I
like
saw
that.
her, but yeah, I mean, anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
the red, orange, yellow motif can only go for so long, and also like your name doesn't
Yeah.
really go as far as Tina Burner, or like
Yeah.
that other drag queen that's fallen from grace, Sherry Pie. Like, there, you can't really go much from there. That's why I personally think I have the best drag name ever, and I've said it on the pod before, but I am Ava Gina.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's only up continuously for A Vagina.
Yeah, because she's already hit rock bottom, so the only way is up.
Ooh, you're getting me tonight. You always do, but
I don't mean to make your cough even worse than it already is.
no, it's cool. It's not even that I have a cough so much as I'm just snotty, and then there's just an emergence of sound from my
so
body right now.
sexy.
Anyway, I know I'm so hot.
I love it. What else do you have for me, Em?
Yeah, okay, so in Central Russia, I don't have the year that this took place. A married couple in their 50s got stuck while trying a new sex position. The woman in this couple, it's a woman and a man, she had been given a copy of the Kama Sutra for her 50th birthday, and they decided to practice one of the possessions. I don't know why I made myself French for that.
Because I'm Canadian,
But
so it's
they-
got to be a little French.
Yeah, there you go. I've been like cold because weather, and I have a cold binging Emily in Paris, so whatever. It's not good. So they chose, this article is really poorly written, but they chose a deck that called like a position called Indrani, or deck chair, where she draws her knees up so her feet are jammed under her partner's armpits, which to me doesn't sound that complicated. Like, I'm trying to picture it, and it sort of just sounds like a kind of riff on Missionary. I don't know if he's standing. Anyway, but apparently everything was going well until she climaxed, and her vagina muscles around his penis had, like, I don't know, her muscles started spasming when she climaxed. I guess, like, starting at her vagina and, like, going, like, through her legs, where they were, like, under. And anyway, so he was locked in place. Like, he couldn't move her muscles to get out of her. So they had to call the paramedics, and quote from one of the medic, he said, "We couldn't help laughing looking at them. The two lovers, who were not young at all, were in such a complicated position." So yeah, I wish, I'm actually going to Google what this looks like, because I don't understand how this was a complicated
If you want to
position.
Google it, it's penis captivus. I'm not even kidding.
Wait, really?
So yeah, penis captivus. There's a whole Wikipedia article on it. Captivus is CAPTIVUS. It's basically like, you know, the muscles in the vagina clamp down much more firmly than usual. So
Okay,
yeah.
I've Googled the sex position as well. And the sex position is actually, I mean, to me, as someone who's not, you know.
You said it's
Who
called
has-
the deck
who-
chair sex position?
Yeah, I've been around the block, obviously. And this is, to me, kind of just what I do during Missionary. I just put my
That
legs
is
up a lot.
missionary. So
It's-
okay, so I'm gonna try to describe it for our listeners, but like the receptive partner is on their back with the knees going close to the chest or the shoulders, and then
Yeah.
the penetrating partner is on top, and like with their arms around the crick of the knee. That's literally like
Yeah,
what missionary is.
It's just
kind of.
It's missionary if the receiver is not like feet flat on the bed or whatever you're having sex on, like your feet are up, your thighs are at maybe like a 45-degree angle in relationship to your torso. And yeah, I don't know, that to me, like, I don't really keep my legs down when I'm receiving penetrative sex, so to me that looked pretty fucking basic. But you know what, good for them, they were in their 50s, and her muscles just
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, my story also involves a 50-year-old.
Okay, amazing.
So, yeah, 50-year-olds are getting it on. But this story
I mean, I
was
hope
back
I
in
am at
2013.
that time.
Honestly, same. I want to be like limber and, you know, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick kind of guy at 50 something.
I want to be
years
fucking
old.
until I am literally immobile. Like, I want to be 80 before I stop. At least.
I want to be dehydrated from coming so much. Like, that's what I want. I want to have no more
Terrifying.
fluids left in me. Yeah, I want to look like
Don't
that
need
guy
them.
from. I want to look like the guy from Scary Movie 1, Bobby, like the boyfriend, where he came so much that he exploded and blasted Cindy onto the ceiling, and that he turned into a skeleton.
I
That
want that for
is the dream.
you. I want that
Thank
for you.
And I hope that happens in the new year. So let's
Yeah.
let's manifest that. Let's manifest it. But my next headline here is from 2013 from the Huffington Post, and the headline reads: Donna Lange, Washington woman, accused of using her breasts to smother and kill her boyfriend.
Oh my gosh. Did she do it on purpose is the question.
Well, let's see. Donna Lange, a 51-year-old woman from Everett, Washington, is believed to have suffocated her boyfriend to death with her breasts on Saturday, January 12, according to the news. Deputies called to the airport in Trailer Park at 12:45 a.m. for a disturbance report, found medics performing CPR on Lange's 51-year-old alleged boyfriend, who was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Let me see. Oh, wow. 38 double D. I don't have big breasts, but I'm guessing that's huge because it's double D.
Well, I know people with E, F, and G breasts. So it's big, but it's not like world record breaking big.
It's not, I mean, yeah. I like the biggest breasts I've seen are like on Jimbo, the drag clown.
Okay.
But those are big old naturals.
I'm literally looking at. No, I would not say that this is like very big boobs. In
It's
my
not
opinion.
okay. So further in the article, it has a somewhat related story, and it says a UK mother of 3 nearly smothered her boyfriend with her 40 double L's while they were having sex.
Yeah.
in
See.
2010.
Okay. That much more reasonable. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a tiggle bitty.
That's yeah. Sorry, this last sentence says she mistook his flailing for excitement until she noticed that he had stopped moving and appeared to be not breathing.
I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. I mean, hey, that's so funny.
Right? Where you're like mistaking your arousal for something else. Like, oh, you like that baby? And you're like,
Yikes. You really can't have a safe word if you're being smothered by boobs.
yeah. Which is why I think I've given
Well,
up
you
on the whole
can,
ball
but
gag thing. Like, because I
Yeah.
realize that communication is so important to me, and if a ball gag is like lodged up in there, I can't really like vocalize. I mean, you can in other ways, like, you know, like a tapping or whatever, but I like using my mouth to
No,
be
yeah.
like, stop it! Get out!
I like the aesthetic of ball gags a lot, but I have never been into it personally for that reason. Like, I want to be able to check in or express something, even if daddy has to punish me after because he wasn't supposed to speak, then fine. But like, you know what I mean, though, for safety reasons, like, it does just make me feel more comfortable. Like, you can choke me, but like, I just need to have my mouth free, unless I'm putting something in on purpose, I guess, or whatever.
And also, like, when we talk about choking, a lot of people mistake it for like blocking the windpipe. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's not. No,
it's not.
We use choking as a colloquialism, like not actually the
Yeah.
experience that you have when you have food stuck in your throat. Like,
Right?
that's,
Because like choking is not actually like choking. It only looks like it's choking because you're just really blocking the blood flow of your carotid and your jugular.
yeah,
So-
exactly.
We need to be like that's kind of like the issue I have with that word choking.
Yeah.
It's like because it implies
Do you have a better alternative? Because I would love to use it.
hypoxia, but that's very, I don't know, that sounds too medical.
No, I know. I'm lucky because I can kind of just like grab my partner's hand and put it on my neck and be like, do this, and like he understands what pressure and like where and stuff. But it's hard when you're like, yeah, choke me, and someone's like, okay, I've never done this before. I'm just gonna put my hand
Check
here
my
and
pulse.
like,
How about that?
yeah,
Check my pulse.
yeah, right. It's tough. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is why like being able to talk and communicate is so important.
Right? Like I hired an escort to choke me, and instead of using his hands, he used his elbow, like the crick of his arm. And I'm like,
a wrestler.
yeah, but like that's crushing my windpipe. That's not what I
Yeah,
wanted.
that's like an actual violent move and not in a like not achieving the like, yeah.
In his defense, like he didn't know, and I should have like instructed him. It was my like assumption that like, oh, you're a sex worker, you're in your 50s, so I would assume that like you know the ins and outs of the proper kink and breath play kind of stuff. Apparently not. So I just had to like tap his arm and like, all right, stop it, tap. So
Yeah. Well, that's
Just
important. I
goes
would
to
have made the
show-
same assumption, so
Right? I mean, it's only fair. Do you have like one more sexual mishap to spill?
I do. So, in Britain, I don't have the country here, a priest was taken to the hospital to have a potato removed from his rectum. And his story was that he had been hanging curtains in the nude in his room when he fell backwards onto his kitchen table, and that's how the potato got lodged up his ass. The nurse who treated him, whose name was Trudy, said he explained to me quite sincerely, but it's not for me to question his story. And that's kind of the only detail he remained unnamed in the article, but anyway, totally not fucking himself with a potato, I guess.
Doctor, I swear it was an accident.
I fell off the curtain rod. I was hanging curtains and I landed directly on this super big potato.
That was
and it
just
was
so
upright,
conveniently
and
there.
It didn't bounce or roll away when I landed on it. It went straight in my tiny little butthole. I mean, like, anyways, yeah, absolutely.
I think this story warrants the more important question. What kind of potato was it?
It doesn't say. This is so annoying. I mean, I like maybe like a.
Is it a Yukon
I
Gold, a
British.
Kennebec?
He's a British, so British potato.
King Edward, then. It would be a King Edward.
Is that actually a potato? It wouldn't surprise me.
No, King Edward potato is an actual thing, but like, because you said he's British, I would guess it's a King Edward.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Anyway, yeah, I don't know.
I'm also very impressed with the fact that I just named like how many potatoes off the top of my head.
I mean, all I had was russet. I was like russet potato, new potato, sweet potato.
You have your
that's it.
You have your russet, your sweet, King Edward, Yukon Gold, Melody, Kennebec. What else do you have? Your Gunda, your Peril. I eat a lot of carbs, so leave me alone.
I like to buy potatoes. I often buy them in the frozen section, already cut into French fries for me. So,
oh, that's good. Oh man, and I feel like that's the perfect kind of like post-sex food, like because it is like carby. So like after you're done sex and you feel a little like worn out, just like re-energize with some potatoes.
Yes.
Nice
little
God.
Gatorade. Love it.
Oh yes.
Yes, my sex life is sponsored by frozen waffles and vegan ice cream, actually.
Oh my God, some vegan ice cream, some waffles. You know what I love about like vegetarians and vegans? Like y'all will be like plants, but when it comes to dessert, give me all the sugar.
I know. Well, Oreos are vegan. That's the thing is people are like, oh my gosh, you're vegan. Like, why aren't you losing weight? Or they like want to make comments about health and body. And I'm like, are you kidding? French fries and Oreos are vegan, my dude. Like, I am eating.
Yeah.
I'm not eating raw salad. Like,
no. But at least you got a healthy bowel movement for anal. That's really the only argument that veganism has to stand on.
I got fiber for days, for sure.
Yeah. So you must not have had a single incident of diarrhea or well
not during sex. Not during sex. I mean, like, hey, but no, I've been very lucky to not ever have a fecal encounter while in the bedroom. So
I am not as fortunate as you, but in my defense, in the 10 plus years that I've been fucking around, I've only had like enough fecal accidents that I can count on one hand. So
yeah, so that's nothing. I mean, yeah.
Also, shit happens, you know.
Literally shit happens.
Literally. Speaking of shit happens, I got one more headline for you, and this is from, where is this? OutlookIndia.com, published in 2021, so it's very recent. the headline reads, "Fatal Sex. Man dies during intercourse. Extreme orgasm was the apparent cause of death."
No way. Oh my gosh, wait.
Ready?
Yes.
It reads, according to a post-mortem report, Charles Majawa's death was a result of excessive orgasm which caused blood vessels in the brain to rupture. Wow. Yeah.
Wait, define excessive, like one big one? Or
Let's
like
see
a
here.
bunch of small ones?
So it caused blood vessels in the brain to rupture. According to the report in the Daily Star, the woman in question decided to report the death to police after speaking with her colleagues. After cops and a medical examiner from the health center viewed the body, the cause of death was confirmed. So, yeah, I guess it's like because our blood pressure and our heart rate and everything like jumps and spikes during orgasm, maybe this guy's blood vessels were so weak that it ruptured. And
Wow.
sorry, dude.
That's such a bummer.
Yeah, as per police, to enhance sexual pleasure, the woman tied his hands and legs to a chair and put another rope around his neck, which later proved to be fatal. So.
Oh, well, yeah, she was fucking with his circulation anyway.
So, yeah, it's really on you, girl. Sorry, sis. That was your fault.
That's tough. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, do crazy shit in bed, whatever that looks like for you, but like, do some fucking research. Like, don't just buy shit at Home Depot and tie each other up and hope for the best. Like, that shit is not safe.
Or like listen to Sex Essentialist and Sex Ed with Tim to get some resources on kink.
Yeah, literally. Also, like, hire an escort to show you how to do shit safely. Like,
yeah, right? Like, we're the ones that have gone through the trenches. We have been in the quagmire of sexual mishaps. I mean, like, my whole motto is like, don't do what I did. Because I've gone through every single mistake, as evidenced by my menthol crystal bath.
oh my gosh, peak.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a sex mishap. That's just a mishap.
That's just me being. I have two modes of operation when it comes to navigating life: being dumb or being brave. And I guess a menthol crystal bath, that was little column A, little column B.
I do love that though. Be dumb and be brave. That's a good combination, but also do your research before you do crazy shit in bed. I say it to the listeners.
Yeah. So what have we learned from the sexual mishaps of the past? I don't know. I don't think I've learned anything. Have you?
My one takeaway is don't let your boner, which applies to all body parts, okay, clits get erect too. Don't let your boner dictate safe health and safety. Don't fuck on a train track. Holy shit. Don't fucking do that. That's what I've got.
Also, like, I'm just thinking that is the most uncomfortable surface to have sex on. Like, it's so bumpy and like
also
cold.
Pay sexual wellness brands the money that truly they deserve for high quality products. Like, buy rope that's meant for sex play and have safety scissors. You know, buy a butt plug with a flared base. Do not use a potato. Like, just save your money and buy the shit that you want to use, because don't use, if you don't know what you're doing, don't use just random shit around the house. Like,
I wish that butt plug rule applied to me, but as I have mentioned on a previous episode.
Yeah. And that has happened to multiple people that I know. Like, I have heard that before. Your ass can eat a butt plug if you leave it in for a long time. Yeah, it can eat the base fully.
God.
I don't know how to get around that, y'all. Like, that's a convocation. Like, you're doing your best.
You're gonna have to get an even flaireder base.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, no idea.
Oh my god. Well, before we like sign off, I wanted to ask you about what we talked about from last season premiere, which was in 2022. You said you wanted to try Tantra. Did you get that done in 2022?
I did a bit. Great memory. I read a lot about and started practicing tantric hand jobs in particular as a fun thing for me to incorporate into my sex life when I wasn't feeling personally in the mood for penetration or whatever else. So really big fan of that, and I hope to explore it more in 2023. Among other things, I've just gotten a bunch of new toys. I'm gonna share a episode about that as well, and I'm hoping to do some new things in the bedroom with some toys.
Is Joe on board with the whole tantric journey?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there are a few things that my partner won't try. And I think we're, again, super lucky. We have amazing chemistry and we've gotten really comfortable talking about sex. I'm annoying to talk about sex with, obviously, but he's a trooper. So yeah, he's on board, and I think it's been interesting for him. I know for a lot of penis owners, it can be, especially straight penis owners, it can be easy to just be like in, out, splooge, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna fucking worry about everything. But he's always been into edging, so I feel like that was a natural progression towards tantra and like enjoying the journey, you know.
Ooh, I love that. Well, if he like has any sort of like trouble with edging or wanting to suppress an ejaculation, tell him good old Tim has a few tips and tricks up his sleeve. And that's not just a euphemism for uncircumcised penises. Sleeve. Speaking of, like,
yes.
that Instagram post that caused so much like so much discourse in your comments it's so funny because like, why is it that most of the comments are coming from like the women who don't have a penis? It's like, maybe I should chime in because I actually have one.
Yeah. Like that was the thing for me. I understand language is tough and everyone has different language that makes them feel more comfortable, but I felt like I was talking to like pro-lifers about foreskin. Do you know what I mean? It was like pro-foreskin lifers, and I was like, this is not, there are lots of reasons to be circumcised. Like, if I had a child with a penis, I wouldn't personally circumcise that child, but that's my decision. I live in America. Like, I use the language in my content that is accessible and familiar to the people in the largest demographic of my listeners and my content consumers, right? Like, I live in America. People use the term uncircumcised. Like, if I use the term intact, all of the American followers can be like, I'm sorry, is this an anti-circumcision post? Like, I don't. Anyway, whatever. You know what? I'm not sorry. I was gonna say I'm sorry, and I'm not.
Don't be. Intact is an insurance company where you can save 18% or more when you make the switch to the car insurance. It really is.
I know. It's very
like, I don't know why.
good.
I don't know why people got such a problem with. I mean, I understand that language matters, but also like there are different reasons why people get circumcised. I got circumcised because
reasons.
I just like, I like, the look of it, the look of an uncircumcised penis. Also, has anyone ever heard of phimosis, which is tight foreskin? Yeah, some people actually have tight foreskins. So
I know someone who's been circumcised for that for that exact reason. Like,
exactly.
It just, Anyway,
I had a fuck buddy who had to get a circumcision because it needed to lead to his frenuloplasty because his frenulum tore. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say sometimes
I
read that a lot on Reddit of like sex mishaps.
Anyways, circumcision is very much my body, my choice. So y'all need to sort that shit out. But there is so much to look forward to in the new year. Like you said, you wanted to explore your tantric self more with your partner and with your toys. And if anyone's missing out on my newsletter, I do have some pretty delicious tea in there. And the newsletter will come out by the time this airs. But I wanted to like recap a few things in 2022 that are going to be exciting for 2023. So I don't know if you know this, but like there's a research I can't speak. Um, there is a research team from Washington State University that recently showed that there's a prostate-specific antigen in human ejaculation that could be like used as a new prophylactic.
Oh,
That's pretty
amazing.
cool, right?
That's very exciting.
That could be a natural prophylactic if you like really hone in on the powers of that liquid in your semen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's super cool science.
Right? I like that. And then this other one is the University of Saskatchewan here in Canada. They just received $900,000 in funding to not just fight HIV, but to find a cure. That's fucking cool.
We've been trying to work on that for a long time, and nothing's fucking coming of it. So we need more money.
I mean, hey, like Book of Mormon said, America's found the cure for AIDS, but they're saving it for another day. And lastly, shout out to France. Y'all just made condoms free for people ages 18 to 25, effective January 2023.
Wow, go France.
What? Go France. It's the only thing you ever got right.
I just wanted to say, I mean, I know I am obligated to hate France because I am partnered to an Englishman, but
no, everybody hates France. France is awful.
I'm surprised, considering what sex culture is stereotypically like in France. I'm surprised that it took them this long, but hey, that's capitalism.
Yeah, right. But also, then again, French people are like so snobby and like I don't know. Name a war you've ever won, right? Like,
yeah, like we'll wait.
Well, wait. Oh my god, they're just like so full of racism and like just I don't know. But thanks for your French fries
and croissants.
Racism and croissants. That's all that matters.
That's it. That's what they've got.
Yeah, or out of respect, croissant. Your croissant. We probably just said something in French there. Oh, and last point I want to make, it's going to be in my newsletter. The Sex Information and Education Council of Canada is going to be receiving $2.8 million in funding to support sexual health and resources to young people with disabilities and Indigenous communities, and the ones who don't really get access to sexual health information and like sexual health care. So there's so much to look forward to in 2023.
That's so exciting. And I want to add too that I am obviously subscribed to the Sex Ed with Tim newsletter, and I love receiving it. It's always a really fun read. So you should definitely subscribe if you aren't already, because it's informative and Tim always brings that sharp wit and humor. So
thank you. And it's not like overly annoying. I only send it like once a month at the end of the month. So like,
yeah, no, it's not like it's not spam. I've been subscribed to other more spammy newsletters before, so
yeah,
this is not that.
So, and also like I do provide like a sexy highlight of the month in my newsletter, like a new toy. By the time this airs, I have recommended. What did I recommend? Oh yeah, the Connect Excite Me licking cock ring. Can you believe that? A licking cock ring.
Okay, so I did see that, and then I didn't deep dive, but I'm curious.
So imagine a cock ring, and then on the top of the cock ring is a little bit like a pinwheel sort of device, but it's instead of like spikes, they're little tiny soft tongues, so that when you turn it on while wearing the cock ring, the wheel spins, and it mimics like this sort of tongue flicking like motion. So as you're getting penetrated, your clit is getting licked like fucking crazy. Yeah.
My jaw is on the ground.
I know. And guess
Amazing.
what? You can get 15% off when you order from loveshop.ca and use Sex Ed with Tim at checkout.
Yes, me texting you in the middle of the night like, wait, sorry, what was your discount code again?
Sex Ed with Tim. It's literally the show title.
Duh. I'm just needy.
Yeah, right. 15% off. That's great. And also, like, I don't get anything out of this, right? I get like pennies on the dollar. So in a way, you're supporting my show. But listen, it's fucking amazing. I only recommend like the best kind of shit for y'all because I have nothing else to care about. I want you all to have a great sex life because I'm clearly not enjoying mine as much anymore. I'm 30 years old. I'm decrepit.
Oh my gosh.
I am straight 30 and gay dead.
Literally had Titanic level steamy sex today, so wah wah.
I know. What am I crying about?
Boo-hoo.
The bed was creaking. The bed was like...
Oh.
So, I mean, you know what? As far as the listeners know, I'm single. But the thing, I don't really know what to call it when you're in a poly relationship. So I'm available.
That, I mean, you're in a poly, you're partnered but open. Or whatever.
Partnered open partnered. And if he ever listens to this, you fuck well.
Yeah, hey, if you're listening to this right now, good for you.
Yeah. Let's give him an unofficial name. Let's call him Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. No!
Oh no, fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh no. I'm triggered. I'm
So
triggered.
So thank you, Brandon, for all of your amazing sex skills. And to all the listeners that made it this far into this chaotic ass conversation. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Em, do you have anything to plug like a butt before we sign off?
Yeah, I mean, besides my actual ass. No, yeah, I mean, season 3 of Sexistentialist is premiering this month as well. In fact, by the time this airs, the pilot might already be on Spotify, along with my holiday special. And there's a lot of fun content coming out. And also, please follow Sexistentialist Pod on Instagram. I post lots of fun sex things as Sex Ed with Tim does, and hopefully, you know, that's of interest to you as a result. My podcast is SEXISTENTIALIST pod. It's a fucking mouthful. I am so sorry. Existentialist with sex, the front. I'm fucking clever. You're welcome.
It must be such a like labor and a half to spell out the title of your podcast.
It is just too late for me to rebrand. It is just too late.
Hey, it works. But thank you so much for spending the new year with me. And to all the listeners, thank you so much for sticking with me through this journey. And I'm looking forward to an amazing season 3. We're going to be talking all about experiences and storytelling. Lots of comedy this year, so that's going to be fun. Watch out for my drunken episode with M on Sexistentialist.
That was supposed to go out a while ago, and I have been like, my full-time real life job has been kicking my asshole, so I'm sorry. I'm going to actually try to post it before this airs, though, so the next week. So anyway, whatever, go check it out. We got hammered and just recorded.
Check it out. But anyways, thank you for listening to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast, and I will see you all at the next episode. Mwah! Bye! Thanks for listening to the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Sex Ed with Tim is created and produced by me, Tim Lagman. Music is Aces High by Kevin MacLeod. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GaySlutClown and at Sex Ed with Tim. You can also like and follow me on the Sex Ed with Tim Facebook page. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Even better, you can also support the show on Patreon, where you can get early access to ad-free episodes and more. Thanks for all your support, you dirty little slut. Mwah!